Okay, our lesson today is finding a mean. I have a feeling it's going to be fairly easy. A mean is an average, and it helps us to understand data when we're looking at a whole bunch of information. We make charts and graphs. A lot of times it's line graphs or bar graphs or different things like that, and we want to look at it. Now, it's pretty easy to find a mean or an average. Sometimes you can do it in your head. And here's an example. If you get an 8 out of 10 on a quiz, and then you get a 10 out of 10 on a quiz, your average is the difference, so is what comes between your 8 and your 10. And what you do is you add up the set and you divide by how many numbers there are. So in this case there are two numbers. So we're going to add 8 plus 10 and then divide by 2. So it kind of looks like a fraction bar. And this becomes 18 divided by 2, which is 9. Now this is showing all the work. Probably if I told you that you got an 8 and a 10, what's your average, you would have figured out that 9 is your average, just in your head. But sometimes we have to do this with all kinds of numbers. And occasionally they'll do it with numbers that you'll get from your charts and your graphs and your data. You'll use your data to find an average. Maybe you got a 3.5 and you got a 2.2, and this would not be scores on your tests, but this could be kids in the school and what are their GPAs. So these are all grade point average numbers. 1.9, which is not real high, and 2.1, 2.5. Now, of course, the highest is 4.0. Okay, so we get these numbers, and we're going to add them all up and divide by the number of numbers. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this could be written as 3.5. So there are 6 numbers. So we want to remember that. 3.5 plus 2.2 plus 1.9 plus 2.1 plus 2.5. So this is for a set of students. We could find out what the mean grade point average is by dividing by 6. So I'm doing this on a calculator because I think that makes sense. We could add it up pretty quickly, but so give me a second. 3.5 plus 2.2 plus 1.9 plus 2.1 plus 2.5 plus 4.0 is 16.2 divided by 6. If I divide that by 6 using my calculator, it's equal to 2.7. And that makes sense. It could be that I want to go back and check my addition again. But I notice my high one is 4.0, my low one is 2.1, and so having 1.9. So having it come in at 2.7 isn't unbelievable. That makes sense to me. It's certainly possible. So the average GPA then looks like this. Okay? Now, we have to talk about something that I didn't get to on this first page. It's called an outlier. We'll go back to that idea where we are taking a bunch of tests and say on these quizzes, I get an 8 out of 10, I get a 10 out of 10. I don't have to put out of 10s. So we're going to assume they're all out of 10s. I get a 9, I get another 10, I get another 8, I get a 7, I get another 10, and then I got a 1. Okay, this 1 sort of throws off our numbers. Okay, it doesn't completely throw off our numbers, but it kind of does. It's sort of an outlier. It's a long way away from the data. If we have a number line here and we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we put all of our numbers in here, we've got 1 7, we have 2 8s, we have a 9, We have 3 tens. So 1, 2, 3 tens. All of our numbers are over here, and this one being so far away, this is an outlier, and it doesn't give us an accurate representation of maybe what our quiz scores really should. This group of quiz scores gives us a better average. If we go ahead and add them up, 8 plus 10 plus 9 plus 10 plus 8 plus 7 plus 10 plus 1. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 numbers. And then if I add them up, it's 10, there's 30, 45, 60, there's 61. 61 over 8. So 61 divided by 8 is 7.625. Let me try that again. 61 divided by 8. So this is saying that my average score is 7.625. And that doesn't really make a lot of sense because my lowest score in this group is 7. And so this one bad score brings my average down to be right here, 7.625, right in the middle between 7 and 8. Now, if I were to go ahead and cancel this out and try it again using it without the outlier, then that's 8 plus 10 plus 9 plus 10 plus 8 plus 7 plus 10. And I don't add that 1, and that means I'm going to divide by 7. Because there's only 7 numbers here. Now it's 60 divided by 7. And putting that into my calculator, 60 divided by 7 is 8.57, which could round up 8.57. That's 8.517142857. It keeps going. So this is closer. This is a better representation of what my average quiz score is because I got rid of an outlier. Okay, and sometimes you have to do it with the outlier, sometimes you have to do it without. It's one of these. It's kind of like a outlier is a number that's way outside of where everything else is. Okay, so I think that's really all you have to be able to do. I think it's going to ask you to maybe do some charts or make a bar graph or something like that, but you guys are fairly comfortable with that stuff. You just sometimes have to find the mean of the data. It's going to give you all the data. It might say something like 49, 62, 52, oop, my pen is not working. There we go, 52, 54, 61, 70, 55. This is one of your examples, and 53. You just have to take these and add them all up. And you might want to write it like this just so we can see your work. I like it when you do that. Write it all out. Then it's okay if you use your calculator because you're still showing your work. This was supposed to be 55. And this one's 53. Show it like this. Write it all out and divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Divide it all out and divide by 8. And then to show your steps, you go ahead and you find out what 49 plus all of these numbers are on your calculator, and you write that down too. This is just showing your work. 49 plus 62 plus 52 plus 54 plus 61 plus 70 plus 55 plus 53. Sometimes you want to check that number twice, or you can just use your head. 456 divided by 8 gives you 57 as an answer. So 57 is the mean, or the average. Mean is what we use in statistics, and it is an average. It's one of the averages. We'll talk about the other averages, the median, mode, and range coming up. 456 divided by 8 is 57, and 57 kind of makes sense. We've got 49 on the low end, 61, 70 on the high end. 57 is above a bunch of them, but it's below some others. There aren't really any outliers in this one. They're all kind of a clump of numbers. And that should be all you have to do. All right, we'll see you in class.